help folks understand that a team that clearly had offensive line issues, losing the Super Bowl to the Eagles, who didn't blitz once, right? So it's not like they were overloaded on the Chiefs up front to try and protect Mahomes. Why would they trade away Joe Thuney, Daniel?
All right. Yeah, so this is a great question, and I'm just going to try and lay this out here. This is not if you're a Chiefs fan, this is not them removing resources from the offensive line and redistributing them somewhere else.
Okay.
This is part of a plan, and this is just me looking at it and going through all the numbers and everything here. So let's start with this. You got 5 guys to start, right? So they have Creed Humphrey at center, who's 25 years old. They've got Trey Smith at right guard, who they just franchised, and I would imagine we'll get an extension done with him. He is 25 years old. And then they have Jawan Taylor at right tackle, who's 27 years old. So we've got 3 spots taken care of, center all the way out to right tackle. Now, they did have a hole at left tackle, but obviously Thuney had you covered at guard. So they trade Thuney, so now you've got 2 spots open. Well, here's why. Joe Thuney's 32 years old. He's got 1 year left at $15.5 million. They decide if we're going to keep him, we're going to have to extend him. We're not going to let him go into the last year of his deal. So now we're going to extend him out, and we're going to have some risk on us on the back end of this deal. Whereas we have 2 different options we can go with in the free agency market here. We can go find a younger guard, and who maybe he's a little bit lesser player right now than Joe Thuney, but we think the contract would age better. And I'll give you some names. Aaron Banks is 27 years old. Will Freeze from the Colts, 27. Becton, who they just played in the Super Bowl, is 26. So that could be an option, just a 1-for-1 swap. We would have to extend Joe Thuney. Well, let's just give a longer contract to a younger player with the hope that will age better, playing with a group of those other 3 linemen who are really solid and really young. Or, and this one makes the most sense to me, Rich, the tackle draft is not deep. We just saw it. Membu is going to be long gone. Will Campbell is going to be long gone. In free agency, there's Ronnie Stanley, who's 31. Ronnie Stanley stayed healthy last year, played well. If you go that route, now you just take those resources. We get the left tackle. We have that, which was a major need for them. We solve that, and now we can find that left guard in the second tier of free agency and get by, or we could find a guard, an interior offensive lineman on day 2 of the draft. That would be sufficient there. So I just think people are looking at going, man, the offensive line got their butts kicked. Why are they not only, they're subtracting, they're not adding? Well, they haven't had a chance to add yet. They're going to mix this thing around. They've got 2 spots to fill, and I think they'll use the draft and free agency to do it.
All right. That's why we have you on here to fit these puzzle pieces in a manner that's confusing otherwise. Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.